Assistant Minister for Science.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker, and I'm delighted to be speaking on today's MPI because I, along with my coalition colleagues, understand the importance of education for the jobs of the future, and that is particularly what I'd like to speak about today. Now, we have heard from the Minister for Vocational Education and Skills speak broadly about education and the funding commitments of this government. What I would like to speak about is education in the context of the jobs of the future. Our need to increase STEM skills and the actions that the government is actually taking to address the significant skills shortage that we have in the STEM areas. But I'd like to start talking firstly about the jobs of the future and start with a few statistics, because it's always good to set the scene so that we understand what the problem is and then what we need to do to at least start addressing some of these significant issues. So we don't know exactly what the jobs of the future are going to be, and that's well recognised. But we do know that 3 in every 4 jobs of the future are going to require STEM skills. We know that jobs requiring STEM skills grew 50% faster than other jobs between 2006 and 2011, and this is certainly going to continue over the future. We also know that despite this, employers are having great difficulty employing people with the skills that they need to undertake these jobs. We know that demand for workers in information and communications technology doubled between 1999 and 2012, but applications for tertiary ICT courses during that period of time declined. At the same time, there were less students studying the science and maths subjects at school than there had been before. And there are some interesting stats to actually support the point that I have just made. And if we compare the number of students studying maths and science in 1992 compared to 2012, so over effectively a 20-year period, what we know is that there were 30,800 more students in Year 12 in 2012 compared to 1992. But there was a significant decrease in the number of those students who were studying science and maths. There were 8,000 fewer physics students, 4,000 fewer chemistry students and 12,000 fewer biology students. So at a time when the number of students in total increased, there was a significant decrease in the number of students studying those science subjects. And we also know that there was a drop in the number of students taking intermediate and advanced maths, but there was an increase in those taking the entry level, the less advanced levels of maths. So whilst that's positive, it indicates that that we do have a problem with students not taking the higher level maths, but going for the less advanced. And it becomes a real problem if those students are going to go on and study science and maths at university because they don't have the core skills that they need to be able to undertake those courses. And they're immediately in the position where they have to undertake bridging or courses in maths just to bring their levels up to the skills that they need to do courses such as engineering. So we know that there's an issue, and I am conscious that, that it's only a 5-minute speaking spot on this MPI that I have, and I just want to, and there's so much that I could be saying on this subject, but I want to move to the actions that this government is actually taking to address the significant skills shortage. Now, in December of last year, the Prime Minister and the Minister for Industry, Innovation and Science launched the National Innovation and Science Agenda. And for those that have not read it, I do encourage you to look in depth at this agenda here, and look specifically at what we are doing to meet the future skill needs of the future. There's a total of $112 million, slightly over that we have committed to preparing our workforce for the jobs of the future. So that comprises some new initiatives, and time is running away from me at the moment, so I will need to be brief, but there's $51 million to equip our young Australians to create and use digital technologies. There's over $13 million to expand opportunities for women in STEM, and there is $48 million to inspire STEM literacy. So it's actually not correct to say that we aren't taking action. We are taking action, and we are focusing on the skills of the future and making sure that we are putting money into addressing the skills shortage that we have now, so that over time we will have a skilled workforce here in this country.